What's going on, everybody? Over the past weekend I did a Twitch live stream test and it kind of went okay. I experienced a lot of lag issues, so that was kind of shitty, but I had a lot of fun. I played a lot of games, I had a couple viewers, and all in all it was good times. To start off this video this week, we're going to look at a replay that I had in the Yenvi. They said, I think that's how it's pronounced, I'm not sure. It's a tier 5 Russian destroyer in World of Warships, and it is a fun little gunboat. Torpedoes have a range of 4 kilometers, and they're painfully slow, so they're pretty much nothing more than the oh shit button. You have to rely on this ship's guns and its surface detectability range of 6.8 kilometers to really be effective at all. I found the key to success in this thing is just to back up your big brothers in the battleships and the cruisers, engage enemy destroyers, and pick your targets. My first target is that enemy Grimyashki over there, who was duking it out with me there in the early goings, trying to capture B. I'm spotted, I'm taking fire from a cruiser, so I like to just get the hell out of there and let the Grimyashki have B. It appears that he's bugging out as well, and I have an allied destroyer that's sailing into B to capture it. Doesn't appear, no, I can't tell if he's opening fire or not. Doesn't look like it. He's going to be capturing B. I'm going to take this opportunity to get the hell out of here and move up north and try and capture A. But not after I first plug some shots on that tier 4, I believe it is. I think that's a Soviet cruiser, judging by the arc of the fire coming in on me. Can't remember the name of that thing. I probably couldn't pronounce it anyways. That thing really doesn't have much of a prayer of hitting me. Well, I spoke too soon. Managed to score 1 hit on me, but surprisingly doing no damage to my little Russian destroyer. Switching targets now, I am detected. I'm going to stop firing on him for a minute so I can shift fire on this destroyer up here that's engaging a friendly destroyer. First couple shots going in, too high, arcing over his smokestack. Second salvo, scoring a hit on the bow of his ship, which is resetting the cap on A. Some good hits on him, dealing some pretty good damage. I've been detected again, but there's not really anything over here that can do any damage. Taking out his rear turret, and I'm just kind of hosing the area with fire here, trying to anticipate his movements. And it looks like he's about to sail straight into that island. He's clearly panicking as he's taking fire from 2 different ships here. Anticipating his turn, nice salvo, and there's my first kill and my team's first kill of the game. I successfully defended A, but it looks like A is continuing to be capped, and there is 2 smoke screens. So that can only mean one thing: there is another destroyer out here. I'm not spotted, so I'm taking this opportunity to move around the north of this island and see if I can come up behind his destroyer. But just as I sail around the bend of this island, that little destroyer pops out of his smoke screen, and my allied destroyer is right in his sights, and he's only on a sliver of health. I have a Murmansk that's coming up here with me, tier 5 premium Russian cruiser. Looks like he's going to keep on sailing north as I'm bringing the ship around. I'm going to try and back up that poor little, I can't tell what it is, but that poor little allied destroyer over there, just on a fraction of health. First shot's going in. That looks like a Minakaze, Japanese cruiser. First 3 shots hitting, setting him on fire and crippling his engines. Second salvo going in, scoring some good hits, setting him on fire again. Is he burning in 2 different spots? I can't tell. It looks like he used his damage repair party. There's torpedoes coming in, and ooh, that's going to be close. Oh, nope. Just made it out of there just in time. Torpedoes did not have range to reach me. Another salvo going out. Doing some good hits. And I have not taken any damage yet from this ship. Firing a spread of torpedoes, I am capable of firing 2 spreads. Hopefully his torpedo detection warning will go off and he will turn away, allowing me to keep pouring fire from my 4 deck guns on that Japanese destroyer. I'm not sure if he's launched torpedoes yet at this point. Feeling pretty safe. I'm bringing the ship back around, continuing to plug fire away, and too little too late, I've discovered there are torpedoes in the water. I'm going to take a hit, a big hit, but it is not enough to sink me, and I do not know why he is not shooting at me. as I'm continuing to pour fire on him with my 4 deck guns, hitting him over and over and over, scoring at least 500 hit points per shot. Another crippling hit, that's on his engines. His damage repair party cannot be repaired by or refilled by now, and he is now gone to the bottom. 2 enemy destroyers down, and A has successfully been defended. But we have bigger problems. That's a battleship over there. He's only 10 kilometers away, and I have plenty of cover between me and him. I did my best, but it is a Soviet destroyer. It's not very fast, not compared to the Japanese destroyers. Try to close the distance quick enough to get behind that island to ambush him with torpedoes, and keep in mind, I only have a 4-kilometer range with those torpedoes. I'm not going to be able to get close enough in time, left with no other opportunity, or no other option but the pop smoke, and it's of no use. I'm going too fast. I've sailed out of the smoke. I've been detected. He has to know I'm there. He immediately cuts speed and steers it in towards the island. And I'm doing the smart thing here and keeping my my torpedoes equipped, because that little white line there will be able to tell me which direction that ship is heading and his speed and everything. Smokescreen just wore off, and that's the last smokescreen consumable I have, and it looks like he's speeding back up and continuing along his heading. And he's thinking he's safe at this point. The torpedoes have passed. He's good to go. He's going to keep on sailing. But I have a second salvo just waiting for him as he's taking fire from a friendly battleship. That appears to be a Texas or a New York American Tier 5 battleship. And that salvo is looking real good as I'm sailing away. He's on fire and burning. Taking some big hits from that Allied battleship. Farming some more damage, and my torpedoes are sailing true. Kill number 3. Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. That's 3 enemy kills up here at A. And this little guy can't swim, says, "Why doesn't anybody cap A?" And I'm like, I'm too busy killing every ship up here first. LOL. And the remainder of this battle is pretty uneventful. My team did lose a good number of ships. It was a pretty brutal battle, I guess, throughout the rest of the map. It looks like most of the fighting took place in the middle, around B. The rest of this battle, we're pretty much just hunting down the last 2 battleships. It's a New York, I think, and I'm not sure what the other battleship was. Now I'm just trying to farm some damage, taking out some AA guns, just slowly poking him with my deck guns here. Scoring a fire, scoring 3 hits on him, causing him to be set on fire. He's not using his damage repair party. Maybe it's on cooldown. I'm not sure. And here in the final closing moments of this battle, it's just a race between me and the torpedo bombers from my Allied carrier. There's one of the last remaining enemy battleships is at New York. He's just on a sliver of help, trying to get around the island, have 1 shot to kill him, and it's not going to be enough. Allied torpedo bombers take the kill. Ooh, he does manage to get a good hit on me there, nearly taking me out. That's what I get for being a little bit too greedy. But fortunately for us, this battle ends in a just complete landslide victory there. As we cap all 3 zones and reduce the enemy down to just 1 ship. How did I do? Well, nearly 300,000 credits, 2,600 XP. Pretty damn good. The Soviet what the hell is it called? Soviet Tide, I think it was, gives you a boost to your commander XP. I'm on top of the team. 3 kills, 1,736 XP. Doesn't get any better than that. Also this weekend, I played a whole hell of a lot of Armored Warfare, and I'm not gonna lie, this pretty much took up the majority of my weekend. I had a blast with this game. I haven't played much of it since I downloaded the game. It is a free-to-play game. You can compare it to World of Tanks. It's been compared to that by many a YouTuber, and only it's modern vehicles instead of World War II era. In this battle, I'm in my BMP-1, and immediately right off the bat, I am spotted, and I'm very quickly learning that the downfall to this machine... What the fuck? The hell did I hit? The downfall to this machine is its lack of gun depression. It has the entirety of the frontal portion of its hull to contend with as you're trying to depress the... Well, it took some friendly fire there to the rear of my turret. And here you can see over here, I'm trying to get gun depression, and I just don't have it. It's a BMP. You have a small little turret with a small little barrel over a big old hull, and you're not really going to be able to get much gun depression out of this vehicle. But back to Armored Warfare in itself, this game is a blast. I was having some issues with lag and queue times for PvE and especially PvP games. So I haven't really been playing a whole lot of it. I've only got up to Tier 3 vehicles. But for some reason, I guess the stars aligned over this weekend, and I had a really good time playing this game. The queue times weren't very long. I didn't have too many issues lagging, except unfortunately with the Twitch stream, that was lagging pretty bad. Unfortunately, I think that's more of a hardware issue with my computer than it is anything else. I did not play any PvP over the weekend. I didn't feel like flying into a rage on Twitch, so instead I stuck with PvE battles because I was having an absolute blast taking out computer-controlled opponents with friendly players. If you can mind the lack of intelligence with some of the guys that you'll be going up against. That I want to elaborate on that. That seems to be part of the issue. That was beautiful. And it's really one of the only issues I have with doing the PvE, and that's just online gaming in general, is dealing with the intelligence of your average, ordinary human. Your secondary objectives, if you can see on the map down there, is that little blue square off in the top corner of the map. And you can see that one lonely BMP-1 who's up there all by himself, just trying to make it to that objective. As I'm scrambling now to try to get over here to help him. They may be computer-controlled opponents, but it doesn't mean you just go off on your own and expect to do well. As you can see, he's only on a quarter of his health left, and if he continues at this rate, it's not going to be too much longer before he dies. Even against computer-controlled opponents, you need to stick together. You need to work as a team, and you need to know the strengths of your vehicle. A BMP is a armored fighting vehicle. It is not a tank. It might be a little bit faster than a tank, and it might have some degree of protection on it, but it does not have... Oh, completely missed with that shot. It does not have your main battle tank hull protection. You're not going to be able to go toe-to-toe with numerous vehicles and expect to come out of this thing unscathed. I've only taken a few hits throughout this battle, and I'm nearly on half health. And I'm playing on, I think it's medium difficulty right now. Nice hit. Nice hit right there as I'm trying so hard to help out that BMP-1P. And he's saying in chat that he's stuck. And that's his problem. Taking fire from this enemy light tank over there. Or, no, sorry, that is a battle tank. You're going to see right here some of the downfalls of just playing an armored fighting vehicle. This vehicle in particular only fires heat and high explosive. And against thickly armored tanks such as this thing, if you're not shooting it in the right spot, you are not going to penetrate. Ooh, taking 2 hits in that tank, taking out a huge chunk of health. I'm only down to 262 HP. And you can hear all the little sounds of wheels squeaking. This tank is really taking a beating throughout this battle. And that is another thing I want to elaborate before this replay gets over. Is just all the little subtle details, the graphical effects, the sound effects. This game is an absolute blast to play, especially with headphones. Just all the subtle little graphical details, like earlier when the one tank blew up, you saw all the sparks and stuff fly everywhere from the heat round that hit it. And this right now, I've taken substantial damage. The vehicle's pretty much on its last legs here, and the vehicle sounds like it's on its last legs, even though it might not look like it. Closing moments of this battle, we just have to get up here and cap that zone. I'm trying to use cover because I do have an object something or the other ahead of me, and there's another one behind me taking another hit from that object 430 down to 57 HP. Just booking it up here to try to get behind this rock and get into the cap zone so we can get a win here. And looks like we did manage to lose a teammate in this battle. An M60 main battle tank somehow bit the dust.
That was a good mission, Black Company.
Fortunately, the battle ended in victory, like most of the battles I played over the weekend. And yeah, fun times. Armored Warfare is definitely a really fun game. I recommend you guys check it out. It is a free-to-play game, just like World of Tanks. Download it. Well, it's been some time since I've really played a whole lot of Fractured Space, or really checked it out for that matter, and a lot has changed. The game is still in alpha, and there's just too much to talk about. Namely, to start with, the whole look has changed. Up here in the top corner, you have your commander profile. I'm a rank 6 senior commander now. You can view your service record here, all your medals and everything. There's active missions, by the way, which is pretty much like your daily missions for World of Tanks and World of Warships and pretty much every game known to man at this point. You have your premium currency up here, your regular currency beside it, and then you have DNA, which from what I understand, DNA, you use that to grow your commanders. When when I first fired up the game, I had to come up with a new crew. And so of course I put the Mighty Jingles as my commander, and then your default crew, you had to spend DNA points to, I guess, unlock them out of stasis. I'm not sure. There's all these other commanders down below, but as you can see, it says template required to grow them. So in the alpha, you are still stuck with the default crew, but I mean, it's no big deal. They do a decent enough job. Then you have your news hub. The store has been expanded. You can actually buy shit now, and the prices for said shit isn't really that bad. I was really thinking about picking up some skins because they do give you 500 platinum, which is your gold in game, but I decided against it. But the main thing is the hangar has completely changed. It is beautiful. There is a space station now. This is the space station that you fight over in the actual game, and your ship is docked at the station. You can see the little umbilical cord coming out from the station there to link up with this particular ship, and it's like that for every ship. We'll switch over to the Sentinel here, and the little docking port is still there, and this ship is attached to it. But the whole tech tree, the shipyard, if you will, has been completely changed. All of the ships that I had unlocked are gone. The trees have been completely reworked. There's new ships added, a ton of new ships added. The Hunter is now further down the tree. I had that one unlocked originally. I had that, and I believe the Raider, I think I had that unlocked as well, and that one is now way down there. USR, I had the Colossus unlocked. I need to grind out some XP to get that thing back. It was called, I think it was just called a flagship before. Now it's called a Colossus. But you start off with 3 ships. Pretty much you have your Pioneer, which is basically your frontline attack craft. It is pretty powerful. I do enjoy playing this ship. Can't zoom out any farther, but that's your USR Pioneer. Really nice ship. And then we have the Titan Defense Industries. This is the Sentinel. It's pretty much a support ship. You have your homing lasers and everything that I was used to playing with the other ship, and then you have missiles and a couple other things. You can generate a pulse that will, I believe, yeah. Well, the propulsion field basically will boost your speed and your maneuverability, but I elected for the recharge buoy, which will pretty much recharge your ship's energy, and any negative effects that you have on, it'll cancel those, which are pretty nice. Thruster surge, just it's a speed boost kind of thing. And then last but not least, the Venture, which is what used to be a mining ship. It's been converted into like a close range DPS kind of ship. And it looks like a mining ship. It looks like a big floating barn. But yeah, it has mining lasers and this thing called a rock cutter, which basically punches through enemy armor, and then you hit the weak point with your mining lasers. So really fun to play. I really like the way Fractured Space is going. It's turning out to be a really cool game, and to prove that, we'll go into some gameplay. Another really cool thing, while you're waiting for your game to start, you can pretty much play Asteroid, or whatever the hell this game used to be called. And I just cannot say enough good things about Fractured Space. Look how beautiful this game is. It's just gorgeous. Look at this. And I'm not even running it on max settings. Most of my settings are medium and high, and my computer has a difficult enough time keeping up with that. So yeah, I've been playing this game since early alpha, and I've been pleasantly surprised with its progress. It is not the game that I remember from early alpha. It has made substantial progress since then, and those of you with a sharp eye might have caught that ripple running through the asteroid field there. That was a detection pulse. I am now revealed. Those little orange dots that just came out of that ship that are now moving very quickly towards me are missiles. That little chime you hear is my missile warning. I've activated my point defense, which quickly makes short work of all those missiles heading in. And luckily, your point defense has a very quick cooldown, but it only lasts for a short period of time, so use it wisely. It will help you to fight off bombers and fighters. And watch the map here. I sailed into Alpha to help out my team, and those assholes just jumped out of here for no discernible reason. I don't know that though, because I'm not watching the map, and I'm busy focusing on that enemy ship that was just over there. And now there's another one that was creeping out from behind that asteroid just before I panned the camera. I am now outnumbered and outgunned. There's a detection buoy down there, which just got obliterated by the Jester 76. He is in a Black Widow, which I haven't played one of those craft yet, but I'm pretty sure that's some sort of stealth ship. Missile defense, missile defense. I am taking fire from the rear. There's 2 enemy ships now, including that Black Widow that I'm firing on. And I think I am now been made aware of that. That is an enemy Colossus over there. It's a heavy flagship type vessel that does massive damage up close. He used his turbo boosters to get in close to me, and I used my turbo boosters to get the F out of there. I am taking so much fire. My missile defense turrets can only do so much, as I'm frantically trying to get out of here, but it looks like help has finally arrived. 2 allied ships have made their way back to this zone. I'm being attacked by fighters, and you can see my defense turrets going to work on those fighters swarming around my ship. What I'm trying to do right here, if you look in the top left-hand corner of the screen where it says upgrade, return to station, if you return to the little zone at the beginning of each area here, it will refill your health and it will install any upgrades that are available for your ship, which basically the upgrades give you a little boost to your health, give you a little boost to your firepower. You earn upgrades by capturing the points on the map. So now that my health is refilled and my upgrade has been installed, rejoining the fight, it is now a 3-on-2 fight. Those are odds that I like. Boosting back up to get into the thick of it, making very quick work of that Black Widow. Unfortunately, I did not get the kill. One of my allies trying to jump out of here. He was on low health, but he was taken out by this Paladin class ship down here. I'm not sure what that thing does. Missile warning going off again. I'm now under fire from the flagship and the Paladin. It looks like I'm now alone again. I could have sworn I had teammates here with me a second ago. Where did they go? I've now been... what is that? I've been hit with some type of green shit. I don't know what the hell that was. Frantically trying to get out of here. My thruster surge is on cooldown. This Paladin is keeping up with me, and unfortunately this type of ship is not known for its damage output ability. Despite doing massive amounts of damage to that Paladin class vessel, I was not able to get the kill, and I'm well within range of that Colossus as it deals all sorts of horrible damage with its flak cannons. But now my thruster surge has been recharged. I was able to get out of there, and the Colossus has been put down by my teammates. Yet again, narrowly escaping death as I swoop back in on our little control point here to rearm and repair all the damage I've suffered in that skirmish. This ship right here, I can't remember the name of it off the top of my head. This is more of a support class ship. It has, for its main weapon, it has Sentinel, like homing lasers sort of things. They target the ship. You don't have to aim directly at it, and the lasers will home in on it and lock on. It has rail rockets. This is like a direct fire rocket system. It has homing missiles, and of course it's point defense turrets. The Gamma section has now become activated. That is this area in the beginning or in the middle of the map. Once you control this, your ship gets a massive buff to it for I think it's like a couple minutes, like 2 or 3 minutes. Unfortunately, we are pretty outgunned here. It looks like there's 3 or 4 enemy ships versus 2 or 3 of us, and stupid me going in here, guns blazing, trying to be a distraction, and I've done just that. I boosted in here well within the range of that Colossus, and I was crippled or stunned or something, so I couldn't move, as all 3 of the enemy ships just bore fire into me. Hoping to cause a distraction, draw fire for my my teammates to get in here and get the kills, capture the zone. Fortunately, things didn't quite go to plan. And 30% faster respawn due to team imbalance. That's great. That guy that's right there beside me is AFK. Oh, good. Nice. After you die, you wind up in that little like warp tunnel kind of thing, and you can pick which zone you want to respawn back in. That you're able to respawn back in. So it kind of gives the illusion that you're like some type of reinforcement ship coming in from hyperspace. It's really cool. So I decided to warp back into Gamma. Gamma has been lost. The enemy has captured it, but I want sweet revenge. Taking out that ship, and unfortunately not much HP left to speak of, and that's going to be a very, very bad decision. Trying to boost out of there. Missile warning's going off. My point defense has now been used up, and yeah. It's very, very critical not to let revenge fuel your actions. Final game I played over the weekend was this, Wargame Red Dragon. I did a whole fuck ton of videos on this game and Wargame Air Land Battle some time ago when I first got this computer and was first able to start recording games. This game, I used to follow a gentleman on YouTube by the name of ICBM Raptor years ago when he was covering Wargame Air Land Battle, and it was his videos and this game alone that convinced me that making YouTube videos was something that I wanted to do. This game is just, I've never done heroin, but if I could try to imagine what heroin is like, it would be this game. This game is so ridiculously fun. I don't know how to describe it to you other than it's just a drug. You just can't stop playing. The sheer scale of the battles that you unleash in this game are just amazing. You can see those every little blue square you see right here is a unit. Those little squares inside the big squares tell you how many units are in that unit. Like those, let's see, the rifleman here. That is 3 units of one. Okay, I'm moving around. The leopards there. That is 4 leopard tanks in that unit. You can see the 4 little squares inside the big white square. And you can zoom up pretty much to like almost a satellite level view, and you can zoom all the way in down to the ground to see each individual rifleman, as you'll see later. This game is just, it's beautiful. I don't know how else to describe it. It's just beautiful. Online multiplayer is something else though. I do not have the skill that some of these guys have, and I've had a good deal of difficulty trying to rank up in online multiplayer, so I just stick to playing against computer. It's fun, I enjoy it, and it provides enough challenge for me. I'm playing on easy right now against 2 computerized opponents. There you can see, zooming in a little closer there on those leopards, as I'm pushing back against, I believe I'm playing against a North Korean and a Soviet army in this battle. I'm playing as an American and Canadian force. And here we are getting down on the ground. Look at the detail of these Bison armored transports. Just look at that. This game is just fucking beautiful. But it's not just ground units. There's also helicopters, airplanes, and ships. There's no ships in this battle, but here we are zooming in down on this F-16 Fighting Falcon, getting ready to drop some cluster bombs on that enemy command unit right down there. That little star in its box symbolizes that it's a command unit. Goodbye, sir! The little zones on the map, if you can see, the enemy have red zones, I have blue zones, and the zones that are white are unoccupied. You need a command unit to control those zones. The big numbers in the zones tell you how many points each zone is worth. and you generate however many points worth of zones that you have under your control every couple seconds. Those points you turn into units. In the top left hand corner of the screen, you will see the number ticking up, and once you click on that box, it shows you all the different units that you can call out onto the battlefield. Depending on the map, you might have one or two different areas where your troops will come out from. In this particular map, there's only one. And yeah, that's pretty much it. You just react to the enemy, call out. It's very much a paper, rock, scissors kind of thing. These guys are good against that. This is good against that. Those are good against this kind of thing. And yeah, it is like crack. It is so freaking addictive. I've managed to push back the enemy to their last 2 points here. They're trying one last desperate push here. I don't know if they were aware that I had Canadian Highlanders in these buildings, but they're pretty much sailing into an ambush. That first unit of Highlanders wiped out as his Bison transports are now moving around the rear of that armored column. They're trying to recapture the zone that they captured in the very beginning of the game. I managed to push them out, but now they're sailing pretty much straight into the jaws of death. My Leopards are out in the open right there. There's a Coyote, Scout light tank. Just goodbye. Just ridiculous. And with that, that was pretty much the enemy's last big push. There's really not a whole lot they're going to be able to do after this. American light riflemen in the town there lending some anti-tank guided missile support to those poor Canadian Highlanders that were desperately trying to fight off that counterattack. And now that the counterattack's been beaten back, we're going to continue pushing up the middle with my light riflemen. I had 2 Humvees coming up behind those riflemen with reinforcements. I have Super M60 battle tanks out there. Bringing my Leopards back across that road over there. I don't want to extend them out too far. Little Strela anti-aircraft tank getting popped there, and here we are now moving in on the eastern flank with my Apaches and my longbow with their ATGM Hellfire missiles, just taking some pot shots on these transports and vehicles heading down that main road over there. Good times, good times. Pushing into the last enemy zone here. I'm bringing out some flamethrower infantry in case I run into something a little bit too tough, and some combat anti-infantry armored fighting vehicles to back them up. But out of nowhere, a random enemy command spotted behind my lines. I'm going to send my infantry over there to deal with that, as the enemy's now moving up to try to push me out of this last zone. Unfortunately, they're running into some very skilled American light riflemen. They are armed with, I think it's Dragon anti-tank missile launchers. Supply trucks moving up there, resupplying my tanks and my infantry as I'm just holding this flank here, pushing the front, and forcing the enemy back further and further. I'm trying to sound like I did something too great here. I am playing against 2 easy computer opponents. But the difficulty jump is a jump. Once you go from easy to medium, it's a pretty big jump, and the medium difficulty computer seems to just bonsai charge you with as many things as they possibly can all at once, and it's not so much hard as it is just they're just completely overwhelming you with tanks and infantry. So I just leave it on easy, and it's just a casual playing experience for me. Pushing the enemy back, really not a whole lot they can do. They just be completely overwhelmed and outmatched with my forces here. They now just have a trickle of reinforcements moving into this town as I'm continuing to push in deeper. I have M60s backing up the western flank, and those Centurion marksmen now backing up the eastern flank along with those tanks. Cargo trucks, moving those up to the front, but it's a little bit too little too late. This battle is pretty much over. I only need 5 points to win. 3,000 point game I'm playing to here. Moving the riflemen and the pioneers up because it looks to be all clear. Calling out some more rifleman 90s in case I run into something else. I do only have 5 points to win, but I find that you don't really pay attention to the score half the time. You're just so focused on what you're doing and where the enemy is, where your guys are going. It's a lot of micromanagement. Really good brain exercise. As we pop this little Igla here, and that's a game. Really fun game. I love Wargame. Well, alright guys, that was my weekend in a nutshell. If you viewed the Twitch live stream, I am sorry for the lag. I don't believe I'll be doing another Twitch live stream anytime soon until I can figure out what the issue was with the frame rate. I think I was only getting about 18 frames per second max. So, yeah. But at least we got the YouTube channel. Like this video if you liked it. Comment down below if you got a comment or anything for me. I do appreciate the support. And as the USS New York here battles it out on the high seas, I just want to take this opportunity to say, enjoy whatever it is you're doing. Do it to the best of your ability. And as always, I will see you when I see you. Take care.